since I said last week that I was going to Jarabacoa, I was up there in the mountains, up in the river, up taking some fresh air and wonderful time. And I obviously didn't have time to upload a video regarding Amazon coming to Dominican Republic. Have you guys heard about these news? I'm going to talk to you about what that entails, what that's all about, what's going to happen in the meantime, if that means that couriers are going to go out of business in DR. I researched a little bit to give you the most accurate information possible. And of course, I promise to keep you updated on the news. But the big, huge news is that, oh, yay, Maria Jackson. Glad to catch you live. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So, the thing about Amazon is that the director of our customs, Eduardo Lobaton, he actually went on an interview a few days ago, and he was saying that our first Amazon airplane is actually headed for the Dominican Republic on September 2nd. I believe that is this very Tuesday. So we are super excited about that because that means that this is the first formal operation that Amazon has ever gotten in the Dominican Republic. Now, I'm going to tell you what this is not about. You remember a few videos ago that I talked to you about Amazon having a global international free shipping deal for now, where you can get free shipping on certain items if you have an order of $49 or more. That's totally separate from what's going to happen now. So to put you in context, basically, Amazon Global has put out a program where basically, if you have an order of $49 of qualifying items or more, you can get them shipped right now to the Dominican Republic for free to your door. So you basically cut out the middleman of the couriers. You don't have to pay for the weight of the package or anything like that. The thing with this deal of Amazon Global is that basically you have to have qualifying items. So it's not all items on Amazon that qualify for this shipping deal. And obviously, you have to have a $49 or more um, threshold of these qualifying items. So if you're shopping on Amazon, not everything that you would need, if you need specific brands, they might not be on that list of qualifying items. But I did try myself with the Amazon Global deal, and I did get some items shipped to me for free to my very door. And it was so cool because the people actually talk to you through WhatsApp, the people that are going to ship you your stuff. Like once they're in the Dominican Republic, they talk to you through WhatsApp, and they basically tell you, hey, I'm going to deposit your stuff. Are you available to pick them up or whatever? Like, are you available to receive me? And they talk to you, and it's very, very good logistics. So I did not have any trouble at all doing that global shipping. But that is not what I'm talking about today. Okay, what I'm talking about today are the dealings that Amazon Air and Amazon in itself, like the entire enterprise, is doing with Dominican Republic. So right now, what's going to happen is there's going to be a first airplane of just cargo, full-on cargo, that is going to go through the Dominican Republic ports. And what this means is that if everything goes as planned, Amazon is planning to make a logistics hub in the Dominican Republic for distribution of products to the region. So the Caribbean region and some of Latin America will benefit from this. Let me read the comments so I can talk to you guys about what I've just said so far. All right. So yes, we use that $49 a lot last year. Only certain things are allowed. Exactly. Mabelina says, I haven't researched about it, but I saw the news. Thanks for the info. Damien says, what's the purchase limit before required to pay customs fees and taxes? Right now, the purchase limit is $200. So you can buy on Amazon anything that you want that is under $200. Once it reaches the $200 limit, you would have to pay customs on that order. What I usually do, since I buy things on Amazon that are not too expensive, what I would do is divide up the order. So if my order total, if I'm buying like 3 shampoos and like a cell phone charger and like, different little items, and the entire total of the order is $200, what I would do is just separate them and put two orders in, so none of them reach $200. That's what I basically do. But still, you have to go through the couriers and all that stuff. So Fred Wang says, so the question is whether Amazon charges for the service. Otherwise, Amazon can ship it to CPS in Miami, and CPS does the route for Miami to your location in Dominican Republic. All right. So Mabelina says, I get Amazon gift card at work for anniversary in the company. I'll use it this time. Yes, you should. I used to give it to my brother because he has a courier, and I was lazy to work with the courier to get mine. It's a big deal. I hope it goes as planned. All right, so far that's what we got, and what this does not mean is that right September 2nd, right, arrives the airplane. On September 3rd, we're not going to have like prime shipping and all these cool things just like you were in the US, okay? What that means is that the Dominican Republic is going to be a hub for a lot more products to be delivered easily and fast to DR, obviously, and to the entire region. So we have to wait a little bit to see what the timeline looks like on the setup of this logistics. But I hope that everything goes as planned, because the director of the customs, he said that before only like 45% of packages were scanned and thoroughly scanned. But right now, since logistics and customs have improved so much, we have like international standards now. 96% of packages are thoroughly scanned with those international standards. So that made Amazon trust the Dominican Republic enough to bring their first Amazon airplane directly to us. So a lot of people are saying and speculating, well, this is the end of couriers as we know it. Not necessarily. Of course, it depends on what Amazon does when it sets up the logistics hub here, the distribution hub. Because if they have a parcel forwarding service to deliver to your door, like the final mile, they talk about in logistics, they see that final mile. If they subcontract, like if they hire someone else to do that final mile and take the products from their logistics hub to your door, then the couriers can still have some skin in the game, because they are going to be able to possibly get that business of delivering still the products to your door. So that's for one. Another thing that I see in the future is that possibly the demand for couriers might go down, but other things will get a lot more demand. For example, the employees that are going to get jobs in that logistics hub, more enterprises for delivering the goods to your door, and there's going to be a lot more demand in the distribution of products to the Caribbean and to the other countries that will be serviced with this hub over here. So it's kind of like you lose some, you gain some type of deal from what I can see from my perspective. So no, I don't think couriers are going to go out of business. Plus, by the way, I'm not sure if that distribution hub is going to mean that all Amazon products are going to be readily available to Dominicans. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a lot more products available than what is currently available. And I believe that that means that we're going to be able to have more products for cheaper. And that is going to bring up a lot of competition in the economy with regards to goods. A lot of like electronics and things that Dominicans usually want to buy when they are in the United States, laptops, for example, things like that. We're going to be able to get them for a cheaper price through this distribution hub, from what I can understand from this situation. So all in all, it's a good thing for our economy. It's a good thing for capitalism and, just basically full on competition between businesses. And it's also good for Amazon to be opening its doors and facilitating distribution in the Caribbean. We know that each Caribbean island is relatively small, but when you get together as a region, as a Caribbean region, I think we can have a lot more impact on those big enterprises coming over here. Now let me go back to reading the comments. So, um, chef says, does it mean more jobs for DR? I think it will definitely mean a lot more jobs for the DR, especially in distribution, transportation. That's a lot of opportunity there right now. Says Amazon typically subcontracts delivery services through, although of course it has its own fleet of aircraft. Yes, exactly. So you have Amazon deliveries that come directly from Amazon, and they also have subcontracts with other companies, which is, the basics. So we just have to wait and see what Amazon does. I believe, and you guys can like mark this down on your calendar. So when it's like, when the news breaks, of what actually happens, you guys can quote me or not quote me or say Ali was wrong or right, whatever. But I believe they're going to go for the subcontracting just because of our infrastructure here in the DR. When it comes to addresses, not all addresses are straightforward. And a lot of places is like, oh, where do you live? Well, I live behind the tree around the bend and behind the colmado, like they're not straightforward directions and addresses. And a lot of them aren't even marked on Waze or on Google Maps. So it's kind of difficult to navigate around just trusting, the Google Waze and Google Apps and all those things. So I believe what Amazon will do is subcontract a local delivery service for those things to get from their logistics hub to your door. Now, where is this logistics hub going to be located? All information that I have seen seems to point, even though this is not, confirmed yet, but all the information that I have seen seem to point to the fact that it's going to be here in Santo Domingo, around Jaina, like around the Jaina area. That's where I believe the actual distribution hub will be. So you guys can also write that down, and we'll see if I'm wrong or not on that one. Let's keep reading the comments. So yeah, almost Amazon will almost certainly subcontract local couriers. Yeah, so the couriers are not going to be totally out of market or out of their business. Exactly. So Fred Wang says, all right, Damien, but in such a case, if you run Amazon Prime, they will also absorb the delivery cost. We have to see what type of deal they strike with those local couriers. I believe you are correct. My ex had to be on the phone to tell the driver where his house was. Yes, that's because the infrastructure here, like for La Capital, for Santo Domingo, there are a lot of straightforward addresses. Like if you live in a good neighborhood, middle to high end, or if you live like in a tower or in a specific building with a name. For example, where I live, fortunately, I live like in a straight on street that is on Google Maps. You can actually Google the name of like the building I live in, and it's actually on Google Maps that people can just Google that one and come right over, right? So I won't have that type of issues with the logistics, but there are a lot of people that live inside little streets and little like alleyways type of deals that I'm not sure how that's going to be, easy for Amazon to do. So I'm pretty sure they're going to go ahead with that subcontracting route. Yep. So those are huge news. And I believe it's going to be all in all better for our economy. It's going to be all in all better for our country and for the region as a whole. Now, there were some other news that I did not get to research on that I do want to talk to you guys about. And it's the fact that there's going to be a taxi that is going to be driverless that is coming to DR. Now, I'm going to look for it as I talk to you guys because that information just came to me really quickly. I just saw like the headlines and I was not able to research it for you guys. But I do want to mention that we are advancing in terms of technology in such a way that it's even like amazing to me how fast it's growing. Let me see. Inicio de semana says, el gobierno no permitirá eso, subirá los impuestos y ahuyentará el negocio. What can I say? Inicio de semana, I'm gonna translate what he says. He says that the government will not allow it because the government is going to bump up taxes and it's going to get like the business out of here. I think what Amazon and huge enterprises are looking for when they come and set up in a country is macroeconomic stability and investment stability. So it has a lot to do with the ratings as a country that we get from the rating companies like Standard and Poor's, Moody's, and Fitch. I don't know if you guys have heard the news that we are still not on the good end of the ratings, but we're not doing horrible. I believe Moody's just rated the Dominican Republic BA2, so they bumped us up from BA3, and we're still, we're still deemed a country that is likely to pay their debts, but is still, in doubt. So we're still there fighting to get a better rating that is investment, like regarded as investment stable type of country. And so I don't think the issue has to do with a lot of taxes. I believe the issue has to do with the stability that the company receives in investing in Dominican Republic, if you know what I mean. So driverless taxis are a product of Tesla. Yes, everything driverless, I think, comes from Tesla. So, let me see. Sin conductor, Dominican Republic. I'm looking this up as I'm talking to you guys. Um, it says AI from Google says that taxi that are driverless are not currently operating in DR. So I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and update you guys on that one because I did not get to upload. I did not get to record or you know look up anything regarding those news. If you guys have any information on that regard, let me know. Fred Wang says we are actually friends with the government here. What do you mean? Your family is friends with the government? That's good. Says monorriel de Santo Domingo. Well, those are other interesting news. The monorriel is just been announced. The government is going to build that monorail over to Santo Domingo Este. They're going to build it, so basically interconnecting the two sides of Santo Domingo. So, there's a greater Santo Domingo. I explain this in all of my videos. But anyways, you have the greater Santo Domingo, you have Distrito Nacional, you have Santo Domingo Este, and those are like the two major players here in the greater Santo Domingo area. So basically, what they're going to do with the monorail is going to be basically a subway, but instead of being sub underneath, it's going to be up like a little train, basically. And they're going to connect Distrito Nacional to Santo Domingo Este. And in a second phase, it will be connecting the airport as well. So that second phase, I'm super excited about. I'm not sure how impactful it will be that first phase, but that second phase that they announced of going to like all the way to the airport, that's going to be amazing, especially for people that like to travel like me. It says taxes are very high here in DR for business. I think that we are due for a tax reform. You guys saw the video that I made months ago regarding the tax reform that it was announced. It was very, very harsh on taxes, and then it was pulled out. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that yet. We are looking forward to seeing what the government has in store for in regards to tax reform, because indeed taxes have to be reformed here, but we'll just have to see what's going to happen. Yes, me too. Looking forward to that train to the airport. That's going to be amazing. Have you guys ever taken the subway to an airport in another country? I have, and it's really cool because if you have a huge layover, it's great to land in an airport that has a system that can take you all the way to the city, and you can wander around the city, get to know a city, and just, do your layover and head back in the same metro, subway, or monorail system. That is great to me. That's wonderful. So, inicio de semana, three little eyes, googly eyes. All right. So, guys, let me know if you guys have bought anything off of Amazon with the $49 that they have the Amazon Global shipping. I have, and it's been wonderful, except the fact that we don't have a lot of product. So, of course, the SkyTrain in New York, of course, that one is awesome. That's the one I've done that. I've done that in New York. I've done it in Belgium. The system in Belgium is wonderful. They even have, guys, lockers for your bags. So they know a lot of tourists do layovers in Belgium, and they like to travel to like the old country, the touristy spots in Belgium. And what they do inside the subway system, they have these lockers for your bags and for, las maletas and all of that. And you can put them in there and you can travel around the city without having to lug your bags with you. They did that in Belgium. It was really cool. Says, yes, definitely to be a country investor friendly, you have to give investors some type of tax breaks. There's a whole lot of tax breaks here, a lot of tax breaks. I don't know what more type of tax breaks the government has to give out. I don't know. I'm torn between that tax thing because, of course, as citizens, you have to do the right thing and pay your taxes. But it's like you want to give all the tax breaks to the people that are making all the money. There has to be a balance over there. It says Pirate Chef, I've sent to SD and have and a lot to SPM, San Pedro Macorís, but a lot of vitamins are not allowed in electronics. Yeah, I found a lot of vitamins are not even in the system. Like I was looking for specific vitamins from a specific brand and I could not find them on the Amazon Global program. So Belgium is Saventum to Brussels Nord. I am familiar with it. Wow, you're very familiar because I did that a few years ago and I didn't remember those names. So yeah, I think it's lovely. If you have questions about the $49 shipping, just ask me. I'm an expert. Pirate Chef. Everybody go ask Pirate Chef about that. Can you help me out? What is your first name, please? Are you talking to me? My name is Ellie. Actually, that's my short version. That's the short version of my name. My full name is Ellie Beth. So there you go. But everybody calls me Ellie. So you guys can go ahead, call me Ellie, Elie. I don't have a specific way of spelling it, but it's Ellie, Elie. Something like that. So yeah. All right, guys. I have been on here for 24 minutes, and I thank you guys so much for your time, for attention. Let me know any questions you may have regarding this Amazon thing, and I'll be sure to look it up for you. I am super excited about this logistics hub. I cannot wait to see what is in store for DR. This is going to change the game for all of us who love to do online orders. I'm gonna look up all the information I can with regards to like what's gonna look like for Prime members, what is it gonna look like for couriers, what's it gonna look like for all of those things. Oh, look, how is inflation in DR nowadays? Actually, DR has an inflation that is quite controlled, if you ask me. The government, the central bank has always had, not always, but in recent years, they have an inflation target of plus minus 4%. And we've hit that target time and time again. So it's quite controlled. Inflation is not a huge deal right now, even though, of course, after COVID, every country, every economy in the world did get hit with high inflation. But right now, inflation is not, a huge thing to worry about because the central bank, fortunately, knows how to handle the monetary policy enough that they handle inflation and they hit their targets time and time again. So we should be able to order from Amazon up to the $200 limit free of Dominican import tax. So we should be able. Oh, yes, Fred. So right now, if you go on Amazon just normal, without any Amazon Global, without any Amazon Air being here in DR, with nothing, just normal Amazon right now, you can order anything that is up to $199. And I believe even up to $200, but don't take my word on that. I would go for like $199. You know what I mean? The entire order. and they should not charge you any customs. What they can charge you on Amazon is estimated taxes, because your shipping goes to your courier's address, which is possibly Florida, Miami, or Doral. And so they charge you Florida taxes on those things. And also, you have to be aware that, of course, when you use a parcel forwarding service, you're going to pay that parcel forwarding services for the weight of your items. So, unless you're willing to pay for, the weight of the item that you're bringing in, I would stay away from ultra heavy items. I would just wait for when I travel to the US. That's what I usually do when I want to buy like a laptop or a huge, equipment or something. I would usually wait to go on a trip to the US and buy it over there and bring it with me in my bag or something. Um, but yeah, right now you can go on Amazon, buy anything from under $199 down, under $200, and you should not have to pay any customs at all. Of course, if it's from Amazon, they have the actual slip of what you paid for it in the package. So when customs receives it here in the DR, even if it looks more expensive and you got a good deal on it, the slip is what says what you paid for it. Sometimes what they have done with me is that if I ordered, like, for example, a lamp for my house, and it was quite lovely and it was on sale. It was over $200, but I got it on sale for like 150, I think it was. And so when they received it, they were like, "Oh, this is no way this costs less than $200." So they asked me, like my courier went and asked me for the slip, like the Amazon receipt, to see what I paid for the item. So if they're iffy, they're gonna ask you about it. And so we'll see how that impacts delivery within the country as soon as they have their hub. Yes, as soon as they have their hub, or as soon as I have more information on this awesome operation, I will definitely be making an emergency video, emergency live. I don't know, anything. I'll keep you guys up to date and informed, because I know a lot of DR news are in Spanish. And if a lot of you prefer to have your news in English, I'm here for that. So you can count on me to give you all the news as it comes with regards to that, because this is huge. The delivery can take anywhere from 7 to 14 days, and the statuses updates are usually not accurate once your order lands in DR. Pirate Chef, that has not been my experience. When I have ordered from Amazon Global, like that free shipping thing that they have, and they deliver right to my door without the courier, it's been excellent. They write to me on my WhatsApp number and they tell me, "Hey, we are ready with your order. We're going to be in 1 to 3 business days. It should be at your door. Let me know what type of schedule you handle, or if there's someone in the house that can receive the order for you." It has been excellent. So I haven't had a bad experience with it at all. Orders from eBay, I would go through couriers. I'm not sure how eBay is doing their logistics, but if you're ordering from eBay, you can also put down your courier address and they deliver it to the Miami address. And of course, your parcel forwarding service or your courier brings it to your house in the DR. That's what I would do with eBay. I don't order too much from eBay. I think it's very iffy. A lot of used items that I don't really enjoy. No, I don't enjoy eBay. How about you guys? What do you guys think about eBay? So Parsha says, "Woo, can't wait. Love your lives. Awesome. I love you guys so much." All right, it's been 30 minutes, guys. I'm not going to waste any more. Well, I don't think it's a waste of time, but anyways, you know what I mean. I'm not going to take up more of your time. I thank you guys so much for coming on here and chatting with me about Amazon coming to the R. Super exciting. And of course, like I said, I'm going to be updating you guys on all the details, because so far I've researched up and down, guys, and there has not been a timeline. I have not seen a statement from Amazon themselves. I have not seen anything much more than reports on local news channels and other news media locally that have announced this. And of course, the customs director himself talked about it in a recent interview. That's all I have for you guys. So, of course, details come and details you will get. Guys, this is me signing out from beautiful Santo Domingo. Let me know any comments that you may have additionally in the video down below, because I will be leaving this video up on my live. So it's going to be on my channel. permanently for you guys to watch and enjoy if you guys want to share it with a friend or anything like that. So this is me signing out, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.